And then we went on to step number 3, somewhere back here. Concede. What are you willing to surrender on this transformative journey so that you can live your soul purpose, so that you can be a dynamo? We talked about your limiting beliefs. We talked about your judgments. We talked about your actions, your behaviors, your relationships. I asked you to question if there were any toxic relationships in your life that you could let go. We also talked about ways to have a plan in place for when opposition arises, because I can guarantee you, and you probably already discovered this, there is going to be opposition in all areas. Opposition from those close to you, opposition from things just cropping up on a day-to-day basis, opposition even from your shadow self, wanting to jump up there and say, you don't need to exercise this morning. Oh, it's too cold to get out of bed. Wouldn't it be nice just to snuggle under the covers for 5 more minutes? You're going to get all that. So how are you going to handle it? Are you going to give in and give up? Or would you have a plan in place to deal with that? We talked about challenging yourself for 30 days and building a power hour where you got up in the morning and you worked your body, your mind, and your spirit. And we talked about ways to do that. And I challenged you to do it every day for 30 days, regardless of what was going on in your life. And if there were those times when you couldn't do it first thing in the morning, to make sure you did it throughout the day. Even if you had to split things up and you had to do your physical exercise in the morning and your meditation in the afternoon and your spiritual reading at night. I challenged you to do that for 30 days. I also challenged you to find 2 people to become your lifeline who could help you stick to these plans. And I challenged you to do research, to get on the internet and play around. Go to Google, type in whatever question you have, whatever piece of information you're looking for. Google it, find out whatever you could. And do the same with YouTube, which is another search engine, but it's all for videos. Go through that, and that will lead you to so many other places that once you get started, it might be hard to stop being on the computer. But the whole idea is to get comfortable with technology. And we talked about smartphones. I showed you my iPhone. You could have an iPhone or any other kind of smartphone, but the idea is to get with the changing technology and not be afraid of it. And then we looked at the final step of creation. You've got all of this information, all of these tools started in your box. You understand where you were, you understand where you're going, you're just about ready to get there, and now you need to create the vehicle. Create from your soul purpose. Create who you are. Really create the transformative and new, bold, brilliant, and bountiful dynamo. This is the start of your toolbox. We'll go through what's in it so far in a moment, but I just want you to consider that this is the beginning. It's transformative. You've come so far, but there is a lot more you can do, particularly if you're feeling like you need support, particularly if you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Think of it as spring cleaning. It's almost spring where I am. And that's a time when we really freshen up the house. We clean it from top to bottom. And one of the first things that I like to do is crack open a window. Let that fresh air in. It's not cold and icy anymore. It's wonderful. It's springtime air. And what we have done on this journey is open a window in your house. And we've let in some freshness. We've let in some possibility. A lot of you are going to take all of this information and these tools and you're going to try them on in various formats. And the things that fit perfectly, you're going to keep. The things that don't quite fit, you'll alter. And you may even go out and find more things to add to your toolbox that you can replace some of the other things with. There are some of you who are just going to be so overwhelmed and wondering how in the world, without support, do I keep going? And there are going to be some of you that are in between. So here's a couple of things you can do. I encourage you to keep building your toolbox in whatever way works for you. And how do you do that? Do you go to your friends and your family and your boss and your acquaintances and your doctor and your lawyer and your pharmacist and say, what should I do? Is that the way to keep being powerful and to fill up your toolbox with everything that's right for you? No. I knew you were going to say no. I can hear you saying, no, that's not me. You can go to these people and you can gather information. And the way to do that is to reframe the question. Ask better questions. What do you think about this type of computer? What do you know about the internet? You can ask people for their opinions. You can even ask for feedback. But when you reframe the question, you are not asking them to tell you what to do. Now, they still may tell you what to do, and they'd love to give you an opinion, but the thing is, you don't have to take that on. It is just information that you can take or leave, that you can put into your toolbox, that you can digest. Then you can make the best decision for you based on your feelings about what is right for you. And how do you get connected to that feeling? Through the practice of meditation, through opening yourself up to the ever-expanding world of spirit, to gathering and growing and experiencing for yourself what it is like to be in paradise, to be a powerful creator in your own life. In the toolbox, you have your diary, your journal, which is filled with stuff right now, and I encourage you to continue filling it. Every time a doubt creeps in, every time the shadow wants to push you off the path, I encourage you to sit down with the journal and work through any or all of the many exercises we've talked about. I encourage you to study the soul purpose pyramid. Draw it out like I did and put it in your toolbox so you can refer to it again and again and again. And when you look at it, and if you're confused by any part of it, find out more information. If you are stuck, if you are confused, go deeper. Ask better questions. Get the information that you need just for you. All of the readings and the learnings and the practices and the exercises about how the mind works, the meditation works, how the spirit operates, how the body operates. If you're looking for particular weight loss programs, if you're looking for particular exercise patterns, find out everything you can about that and then adapt it to you. Think of this as a treasure hunt. This is your own personal journey and treasure hunt, and you get to pick and choose and find out the bits that work for your particular treasure and let go of the things that don't. Well, again, we talked about research. Now, I'm assuming you've taken some notes from your research, and I'm assuming those notes will be in your toolbox. Computer and internet, smartphone, and the Power Hour plan. Now, obviously, if you're looking at a physical box, some of these things aren't going to fit in there. So I want you to consider for a moment that your toolbox is ever expanding. You may have a physical place where you're keeping your journal, you're keeping your notes, you're keeping your soul purpose pyramid, and you can decorate it as vibrantly as you wish. But also consider that the world, the universe, is your toolbox. And your computer and your smartphone and the internet reside in that space. And what else resides in that big universal toolbox? You. You are the most powerful tool in the box. It's been a great journey. And for those of you who want to go deeper and want some help going deeper, I've got good news for you. Over the next while, I'm going to be sending you a series of emails. And I'm going to be explaining how we can work together to get you deeper in some of the areas that you feel you just need more help with. But in the meantime, work with what you have. Take all of this in. Try it all on. Modify it. Make it your own. Make it vibrant, bold, colorful, exciting, energized. Make it totally unique. I'm Lori F. Dean, and I am so honored and humbled to have been part of your journey and to watch you become this bold, brilliant, and bountiful dynamo. I can't wait to see what you'll do next.